Hi guys, welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 20th of May 2020. I'm just going to go over a very quick scalp that I did this morning during the London session. I was up about 6:30 in front of the charts. I had a news release this morning for the pound at 7 o'clock. I've no idea what the numbers were. I don't know what they mean, but just looking for the volatility that brings with it. At the time, I'll take the scroll off so I can just show you. At the time, price was, or at least yesterday when I was looking at price, this was a full 4-hour candle, and it was looking like price may want to reach up into this area up here, just as a longer term run. So you see price is around about 110-ish pips away from that level. Makes sense that price would want to draw up there based on the structure of price and the way that it's turned. And then it reverses. Okay, so when I got up this morning, okay, I've got this in mind up here, and we start to grind lower. Okay, at the 4 o'clock candle, all right. So I'm making a note here of this low. So obviously, when I sit down, it's about 6:30. Yeah, put this back on. Sorry, it's about 6:30. Okay, which would have been, which would have been in this candle here. Alright, so if I just I'll show you something. If I just put the 7 o'clock marker, we drop down to a 5-minute chart. I've got the level in mind, okay, lines up nicely, and what I'll do, because what I was actually looking at was this low here, this low here, because it ties in nicely with both. Okay, you've got a little area of imbalance over here. So we've had the 7 o'clock news release, and I'll just show you the candle. I know I'm being a bit anal, but that's the candle there on the 7 o'clock news release. Okay, so no real price movement at the time. Nothing really happened. And then obviously it starts to grind low and grind low. And I was expecting a run up, small pullback, and I was going to take a trade long into these highs up here. But obviously you have to adapt to what's going off in front of you. So I've started with one idea, and I've ended up with this idea down here. So I'll just show you the trade. Where are we? This one here. So this was the trade, just a quick one, and you can see as price starts to push lower, push lower, push lower. Right, and remember, I'll just say this now as a scalper. I'm looking for very, very quick profits. I'm not interested in being sat in a market waiting for something to happen. This is a 5-minute chart. They're pretty quick. Especially on a pair like the pound Japanese yen, which I'm comfortable trading. I have no problem trading this pair. But with that said, it's spread slightly wider. Talking about two, sometimes up to three pip spread, but generally it's around about 2 to 2.5 pips. So you need to clear that before you've even started. So even if you're using some pretty decent size, even one standard lot, you're down 20 quid, 30 quid before you've even started. So you have to factor all these things in. But like I said, the context of the trade makes sense. I'm expecting higher prices, so I wanted to see that first initial pop. Hold, nice little pullback. And then we take a trade on the pullback. Going into these high levels. But obviously, as price starts to grind lower, and then we get that expansion here. That's where I'm starting to pay the most attention. Yeah. So on the close of this candle, I'm watching, and I'm already thinking at this point, I want to see price run up. Yeah. Now I know I have a workable range. Yeah. So in my mind, on the close of this candle, I'm measuring up the range and I'm saying, right, I've got a 15 pip workable range, which means, I want to see price start to eat into this 15 pip range, because if I'm going to be in a trade on a pair as volatile as this, I don't want to leave any wiggle room. I know at this point on the close of this candle, I firmly believe now that price was going to be coming down here. If I just zoom out, price is going to be coming down here to these levels, to run the stops. So I've got the confidence, I've got the workable range. Now I want to see price eating into this range a little bit, preferably up here. Sorry, excuse me, I just need to cough. Sorry, guys. I want to see price, eat into this range, and at least maybe retest this area here. Yeah, but I'm watching price. This is the most important part of this video. This what I'm about to say now is something that needs to be internalized and needs to be understood from an experiential point of view. When you're watching price, yeah, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at price moving up and down. I'm getting a feel for how pound Japanese yen is moving. During the London session, we've just had a nice drop. It's not, when you're looking at this right now, all you're seeing is a static candle there, a static candle here, a static candle here. You don't know what I was experiencing while price is moving up and down. There's a lot of intricacies going on. And traders who've done this, not scalping, but traders who've sat and watched price, tick up and down, for any length of time, will know what I'm talking about. You start to become accustomed to the way things are. I was reading an article recently by Paul Tudor Jones, and he made a reference to tape reading, in this article. I believe the article was about Bitcoin. I might be wrong, but I remember the article purely because of the tape reading comment that he made. And he was something to the effect of, it's a dying, it's a dead art form. Hardly anybody reads the tape anymore. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because when I was trading QCOM years ago, I would obviously read the tape. I mean, it was just a staple of my trading. It was there all the time. I was constantly reading the tape, looking at the level 2, looking at the orders, and when you do that for years, you become very accustomed to the way a particular pair moves, or a particular, in this case, a stock moves. But you can translate the experience of reading the tape into, your Forex trading, in this case for me, the Forex trading. So when I'm watching price ticking up and down, I already have I don't like saying high level of understanding, because it's an internal thing, but I suppose for my own personal understanding, I have a very high level, of how to read a tape, yeah, and although things have changed now, this was many years ago, the experience that I internalized while I was reading the tape all of those years can be translated onto the chart as I'm watching price ticking up and down, because you get a feel for the tug, you get a feel for the flow, and it's something that you can't explain correctly. You can only, when somebody understands it, and somebody's done it, they can say, yeah, I get what you're talking about, because I know when I'm watching price. And to give you a good example so you guys can relate to what I'm saying, when you're in a trade and you're watching price moving up and down, your negative emotions, so say like you open a trade and you're down, one standard, you're in the trade, you're down, 150 pounds because it's 15, you've got a 20 pip stop and it's eaten into your stop 15 pips, and you're relatively inexperienced, yeah, using size you're not comfortable with. All of the emotions that you experience will be negative, and your body, your mind, everything is telling you to get out of the trade, but other things are telling you, you're going through this massive tug of war in your head. Get out of the trade, no, leave the trade so it goes back to break even. Now you don't even care about profit, you just don't want to lose money. You see what I mean? But when you put all of that aside and you become accustomed to, these trades, and become accustomed to watching price for, say, a couple of years, take the same trade again and your experience will be completely different, because you'll be able to watch price and know, yeah, I've seen this so many times, I know this is just a general function of the volatility of the particular pair that I'm trading. These are the small nuances that you see on these particular pairs. I'm just going to leave the trade, let it be, and you're a lot calmer. You've internalized a lot of this price movement. You understand the ups and downs, the ebb and flow on the day, and it gives you a better, well, not better, but it gives you more confidence to stay in the trade, and allow the trade to unfold. So just again, I mean, it hit target nicely. Quick trade. I believe it was 18.6 pips. I posted on Twitter. Yeah, it was 18.6 pips. I'm sure it was. What was the profit? Yeah, so it was 18.6 pips. You can see down here, yeah. So just a quick scalp. I mean, this is something that if I had the time and the patience, I guess, you can find a couple of these a week, but the conditions have to be there. Very, very important, guys. The conditions have to be there. First of all, you have to be a scalper by nature. It has to be something that you are accustomed to and something that fits your psychological profile in terms of trading. But secondly, the conditions have to be there. Very, very important. Obviously, when I sat down this morning, I had one idea in my head, and then it panned out completely differently because I adapted to what I was seeing in front of me, which is something again that we have to be able to do as traders. So I hope you found this, this video. Excuse me. I hope you found this video beneficial, insightful, and I will do my best to throw something out there in the next couple of days just to keep things going on YouTube. I wish everybody well. I hope everybody's well, keeping safe, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video. Take care.